Hello, and welcome to this session of the 2020 SNAM virtual conference titled Sourcing Local Through the Winter, Tips, Information, and Resources for Sourcing Local All Year Long. This session is brought to you by the Michigan Farm Institution Network as part of our Cultivate Michigan local sourcing campaign and the work that we do to help promote farm-to-school efforts around the state. My name is Garrett Ziegler. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm a community food systems educator with Michigan State University Extension, and I have worked for the past about 8 years on institutional farm-to-institution programs. I'm based in the west half of the state in Kent County, Grand Rapids, and I serve really statewide in this effort to work on farm-to-institution programs. So today we're going to be talking about how you can really maintain, or even sometimes, depending on the products you're looking for, increase your sourcing of local products from Michigan throughout the winter. So to get us started, just wanted to give a little bit of information about the Michigan Farm Institution Network. The network's purpose is really to provide a space for learning, sharing, working together to help farm institution programs grow all around the state. And we've been working towards the goal that is included in our mission of helping those institutions, whether they are hospitals, schools, colleges and universities, early child care centers, large corporate campuses that have cafeterias, basically any institution that or any space that provides food service to a large number of people. And we've really been helping them work to that goal of 20% local food purchase by the year 2020, which we happen to be in right now. And that was one of the goals of the 2010 Michigan Good Food Charter. One of the projects that we've worked on as part of this Michigan Farm Institution Network and our Cultivate Michigan local sourcing campaign has been to highlight foods throughout the different seasons of Michigan, foods that you see here that grow in the state of Michigan and can really be sourced locally and provided for institutional food service markets. As you can see, the amount of food that we grow here in the state of Michigan is really only second to California in the diversity. It's colorful, it's vibrant, it's nutritious, and there's a lot of great products that you can source locally here in Michigan. Today, we're going to really be highlighting the winter products that are available. And as you can see there in that far right column of this screen, we have apples, dry beans, Michigan cherries, cabbage, beets, and garlic are some of the products we've highlighted throughout the winter. But that's not to say that, there's not additional products that are available, even though they weren't necessarily products that we highlighted for our winter season, that are actually available all year round as well. So I listed out here all of the different products that we featured through the years from 2014 to 2019 as part of our Cultivate Michigan Featured Food series. And you can see all the products that are highlighted here in red are really products that are available throughout the fall, winter, early spring, times when you wouldn't necessarily think about fresh Michigan products. And the reason for that is a lot of these products are actually available in forms that might be considered minimally processed, things like that are frozen, chopped, those sorts of things, to really extend the availability of these products. We'll also talk some more about some other strategies that Michigan producers and supply chain partners are using to make these products available on a more year-round basis, especially through those winter months when it's cold, and snowy here in the state of Michigan, and we're not really thinking about featuring these specific products or purchasing these specific products from local growers. One of the important things to think about here as you're trying to incorporate different products into your food source operation is really strategizing about what that menu is going to look like, how you're going to be able to utilize cabbage, how you're going to be able to utilize winter squash, and also what forms you might be looking for those products in that would make them easier to incorporate into your menu, into your meals, your school food service meals specifically for this audience. So I just wanted to take some of those products that I just highlighted that we've featured in the last 6 years of our work on Cultivate Michigan and featured foods, and just use this produce availability chart that we have here that's created by the Center for Regional Food Systems. And this chart is available online, both in a downloadable format for printing, a mobile format, and an online format. So there's lots of different ways to view it and share this information. And I'll provide a link to that later in the presentation. But as you can see here, this chart really highlights how products that we grow here in Michigan, when they're field fresh, so that's that green portion, and it's kind of broken out by month calendar here, so you can kind of see visually when things are available, but really highlights, in addition to when they're field fresh, when they're also available through an extended season. And that's something we'll talk more about, season extension techniques that our farmers are using. And that's that kind of tan beige with purple highlight region of the calendar, and then also available in storage. So a lot of the products that we grow here in the state, especially things like root vegetables, apples, they're really available through a storage capacity that our farmers and packers have created to allow those products to be available on a much longer basis than when they specifically be fresh in the field. So you can see beets are one of those products that we've gotten really good at here in the state of Michigan at growing year round through hoop houses, through extended season. Things like cabbage, carrots are products that are really, fresh for certain periods of the time, but they also can be grown through extended season and even extend that shelf life of products by having great storage options. Garlic is another one that you can really access all year round due to the storage. Greens and kale you see highlighted there, salad greens at the bottom. Those are products that we've gotten really great at doing season extension work to have all year round here in the state of Michigan through greenhouses, through hoop houses. And the next slide shows some additional products. Winter squash is a great product that is fresh now, September, October. We've got some great winter squash growers here in the state of Michigan, but you can really see then it's available all throughout the season, all the way until early May, actually through our great storage options we have here. And then the bottom of this chart actually shows apples, blueberries, cherries, tart and sweet. So some of our fruit products that people love to source for their school meals. Apples obviously have a great storage capacity here in the state of Michigan. I'll talk more about why that is specifically. But blueberries, you think about, this chart doesn't, one thing this chart doesn't show is what something like a lightly processed activity like IQF freezing, individual quick freeze, can do for blueberries to really extend the life of frozen blueberries throughout the entire year. They can be available locally, as well as frozen cherries and dried cherries, both tart and sweet. So this chart does not really show that, but even though these products are enjoyed fresh in the middle of the season, height of the summer, when really schools aren't in session. Well, there are summer feeding programs, but that ability to freeze these products, which we'll talk more about, really makes them available all year round. So kind of moving into what some of these specific techniques are being used on our farms and in the supply chains of our food here in the state of Michigan, that really makes them available all year round. Again, that great one that I first mentioned is season extension. So growing things still in the ground, in other growing mediums like water, hydroponic systems, but doing so within a structure, whether that's a hoop house, a full greenhouse with glass, hoop houses that are more, frames with plastic sheeting over to allow light to pass through. This can really extend, the growing season all year round. Many farmers are growing in their hoop houses that they have that are likely being heated for those really cold winter months, but they're growing in them year round, growing greens, growing some other different products, herbs, those sorts of things, cold hardy products, things that really like to enjoy, cooler temperatures that you can maintain in a hoop house or a greenhouse all year round. We've got growers like Revolution Farms that's here in the state of Michigan that has a massive indoor greenhouse growing operation where they're growing lettuce mixes that are great for institutional markets to use to fill your salad bars all year round. Also really cool programs like Square Roots, that's a partnership with Gordon Food Service that has indoor growing in containers where they're growing herbs, basil, other types of greens year round and providing them to institutional markets. So these are the great options for for continuing to source locally all throughout the season due to the improvements we've made in season extension and the wider availability of these hoop houses, greenhouse structures, indoor growing operations. All these sorts of things make sourcing local a lot easier for our institutions and schools across the state. Another thing that I've mentioned a little bit over the last couple of slides is storage, and specifically I want to talk about apples and the availability that we have here in Michigan of sourcing apples locally from our farmers all year round. So obviously when apples are grown, there's a number of too large a crop for everybody to eat them when they're just fresh pulled right off the trees. So here in Michigan and other large apple growing regions around the country and around the world, we've really invested in technology in controlled atmosphere storage. So they actually change the atmosphere of these storage areas where they're holding these apples to basically kind of pause the ripening of these fruit, or kind of the decay that started due to the release of gases by the fruit. So it basically stops all that. So then as they're taken out of storage, they still have a continued shelf life, as long as apples are kept in the fridge or, kept safe. They will have an extended shelf life and will be available, through the spring into early summer, actually. So we almost in the state of Michigan have a year-round apple season due to storage apples that are widely available through many distributors all around the state that service institutional and school markets. We also have options for light and minimally processed products. Thinking about apples, sliced apples are a great product that we have here available locally in the state of Michigan for school food service, especially now during the pandemic when we're doing a lot of meals to go or in different formats. Sliced apple products that are available year round here in the state of Michigan are a great option for that. As far as a light and minimally processed product, so that's both a stored product as well as a minimally processed product where the apples are just being sliced. Another great processing minimally processed product that we have here in Michigan, as I mentioned earlier, is individual quick freeze for small fruits like cherries, blueberries, some of the other raspberries, strawberries we have in the state. There's some organizations and the companies that are doing freezing of these products to really make them available all year round to the institutional food market. One of the things we do within Cultivate Michigan is a Michigan Cherry Slurp promotional event. This was used to highlight the fact that, while cherries are fresh, we know cherries are grown and are fresh and picked mid to late summer. They're really available all year round in that frozen form or also in a dried form for Michigan cherries. And smoothies are a great way to utilize these frozen products in school meals. They're healthy, they're nutritious, and they're well liked by students of all ages. And can really be things that allow you to kind of, highlight local products, incorporate them into your menus well through into the winter and into the early spring as well. So now that you're thinking about sourcing, thinking about, how can I incorporate more of these products into my food service operation? Where am I going to find them, and how am I going to cook them? What recipes are available? Well, if that's a question that you're curious about, we have resources available through our Cultivate Michigan program. We've actually been all of those featured foods that I highlighted back on one of the first slides that we've had from 2014 through 2019. We've actually been collecting local sourcing information from all the broadline distributors around the state, from food hubs and other kind of specialty produce distributors that service different regions of the state, to really make it as easy as possible for you all to be able to find these products on a year-round basis. So the sourcing guide's available on our website, cultivatemichigan.org /featured foods. Also available on that same website is a recipe book. So again, as part of that featured food initiative that we had from 2014 through 2019, we developed or curated recipes from institutional food service programs, from the USDA, to create a recipe book to accompany all of those different featured foods that you see listed on that previous slide. So anything that's found in the sourcing guide, we'll have recipes to match up. We've got some really great recipes to utilize products that are available this time of year. As I already mentioned, the smoothies and things like that that are for some of our frozen Michigan berries that are still available. We've got a great recipe in the Cultivate Michigan recipe book for roasted root vegetables to provide as part of a school lunch program. Nutritional information, all of those great resources already included. So you know exactly how it fits into your menu and can incorporate that. So these are great resources available for you all looking to purchase locally, and about really how you can get down to the brass tacks of doing that. So that's going to wrap up my presentation. As I said, my name is Garrett Ziegler, and I just appreciate you all listening to this and being interested in increasing and maintaining your local sourcing, not only through the early fall season, but really through the whole entirety of the Michigan school year. My email is available, zieglerg@msu.edu. You can also send questions about local sourcing or farm to institution programs to info@cultivatemichigan.org, and someone will get back to you promptly. I've also included some links and resources here for you all. That produce availability chart is available at www.canr.msu.edu/resources/mi-produce-availability. Cultivate Michigan that I mentioned a number of times is our local purchasing campaign, and the website for that is cultivatemichigan.org. We also have lots of information at michiganfarmtoinstitution.org. Actually, I think that link should actually say mifarmtoinstitution.org. Apologies for that. And then another great resource we have specifically for farm to school is an information sheet that's available on the Center for Regional Food Systems website that you see there listed last, that actually provides information on where other community food systems educators who work with MSU Extension and partner with the Center for Regional Food Systems on a lot of our farm to institution work, where we're all located around the state. So if there's somewhere locally that you're looking to connect with to learn more about the programs that we have and how you can increase local purchasing or develop school gardens, there's lots of great resources available on that document there, and how to connect with other MSU Extension local food and community food systems educators. And with that, I just wanted to again say thank you for your time. I hope you found something useful in this presentation, and look forward to connecting with you soon.